Welcome to the West Indian Women Network. I am Priscilla Ramcharan, the founder here in the United States, originally from Trinidad and Tobago. And as you all know, I founded this channel to invite our Caribbean creatives on the island, outside of the island, and we do more than just authors and events. We have guests who do all different types of work. So today we have a very lovely guest who's going to introduce herself, tell us where she's from, and tell us a little bit about her work. So please welcome and introduce yourself.
Thank you. Thank you, Priscilla, for having me on your network. It's an honor. My name is Aartie Gosine, and I'm an author from Trinidad. I initially started writing children's books. I have self-published 5 children's books. This book, my latest book, A Place to Call Home, is my first foray into historical fiction. And I wanted to do something based on indentureship because we don't have a lot of fictional novels on indentureship. You know, we have slavery, we see a lot of World War books and that sort of stuff, but indentureship is something that hasn't really been touched. And this book was inspired by the Husay riots of 1884. Now, the Husay riots took place in San Fernando, Trinidad, and the book follows the life of Suku, he came from India, and he came as an indentured laborer. He moved up the ranks to become a headman on the estate. And he, being one of the leaders on the estate, now Husay was a festival celebrated by both Muslims and Hindus. So all the Indians on the estate, it's something that brought them together. And in 1884, the British colonial authorities, they felt a little threatened by all the Indians getting together. In 1881, they had Trinidad witnessed the Cambule riots, which were the Africans. So now they're a little concerned about another group getting together. So they put out all these regulations to restrict the movement of the Indians during this Husay festival. And Suku was one of the leaders who defied these regulations. And he, along with others on the estate, and also the other estates in the area, they were encouraged to, defy the regulations and to celebrate as they usually would. So they went out onto the high roads. The procession was intended to go into San Fernando and then to place the Taja in the ocean, that was their celebration. And on the way to San Fernando, they were stopped by soldiers, and there was a confrontation where the Indians were shot. So we had 22 deaths and many injuries, simply because the authorities did not want them to go. So that is the inspiration behind the book. So that is actually the last part of the book. It ends with the Husay riots. But the rest of the book really shows life on the plantation, how they had to work, the conditions they had to endure, and basically tracing their life, day-to-day life on sugarcane plantation. So it took a lot of research, but it was very interesting.
Well, congratulations to you. 5 children's book, and hold up your new one. Congratulations. This is amazing. I've actually been dabbling in historical fiction for the past couple of years, and I absolutely love it. I'm intrigued. I want to read it. And I mean, it's such a topic that, we need to bring light to. We need to know our
Yes.
history, find out what happened. And people like you who bring it to life, it is just so phenomenal to be in your presence and see your work and understand the thinking process that you went through to create this book.
Thank
What
you.
was one of your challenges?
One of my challenges is that there's not much information.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so someone asked me what, where did Suku go after, what happened to him after the riots?
Mm-hmm.
Did he have a family? Where did he live? And that information is just not readily available,
I can
you know.
imagine. Mm-hmm.
So a lot of what we have in the archives um, who came, the Indians that came, and basically what ship they came on and where they were sent.
Mm.
But because this happened in 1884, there's really no documentation after.
Right.
So I'm still gonna try and dig and see if I can find some stuff, but there's not a lot of information after. And as I said, there's not a lot that's written
Mm-hmm.
about that period. We have a few academic books that have been written, but this is the first fiction novel that takes from the research that I've done and puts it into an easy to read story that people could still gather the history, but it's more enjoyable than reading a thesis or a
Right.
dissertation. So yeah, I think that the hardest thing was actually getting the research done and
Right. So
getting
you
the
had to fill in
information.
those missing pieces
Yeah, I
and
guess that's why we
be
call it
as
fiction.
realistic as possible. Yeah, I can
Yes. Yeah.
imagine your imagination had to get going at
It
that
has,
point.
yeah.
And there was no
So,
way to trace him back to India.
well, he's traced back to India,
Mhm.
but his life after the riots
Mm.
is what that wasn't, we don't know if he died or if he, was injured or we know nothing about him afterwards.
Right.
So I'm hoping, in time to come, I'll be able to probably get down to the archives, do some more, research, some digging, and possibly find out, maybe if not him, but, somebody else who was involved as well. And then,
Right. Right.
yeah, we
Well,
could,
they say what you're seeking will find you. So the more you
yeah,
dig, that information will
yes,
come
it'll
to you
come
and then
back.
you can share it
Yeah,
with us for sure.
yeah.
That is so phenomenal. So is this your journey into historical fiction moving forward, or
Yes,
what are you thinking?
it is. I think I want to do
Ooh.
more fiction on inventorship. So I have
Mhm.
an idea for a second book. Um, Hopefully it'll come to pass. I want to trace the lives of three women. It'll be three fictional women again
Mhm.
because the information is not there, but at least
Right.
I could put them in a setting of indentureship and what it was like, the conditions,
Right.
and create, stories out of that.
That would be phenomenal. I definitely read it.
So
So, what would you
that's
say? Oh, you're welcome. What would you say is your motivation into this historical fictional world? Is it a calling or just something you're interested in?
I won't say I'm not sure if it's a calling yet, but
Okay. Is it keeping
yeah,
you up at night?
mm, not too much yet.
Okay.
But no, I've always been interested in the history and learning more about where we came, not just indentureship, but even the first peoples who were here, the Caribs, the Arawaks, their stories.
Hmm.
I'm very interested also in folklore,
Ooh.
not just Trinidad and Tobago folklore, but world folklore, because this is history that created the people that we are now, wherever we are. and so yeah, it's folklore is a big part of my interests as well. And I have a lot of it in my children's books.
Okay.
I tend to, so one of my books, Magic Cave Christmas, I took folklore Christmas characters from around the world
Hmm.
and, made up stories that children would enjoy and introduce them to folklore characters. So not just Santa Claus, but other things that are native to like Germany or, you know, different countries. So
I like that. That
it
is
was an
phenomenal.
interesting journey to learn about all these things. And
Absolutely. Hmm.
I usually write what I am interested in, you
Right.
know.
Right.
So it makes it more enjoyable.
And you can connect with it even more because you
Yes,
have this interest that you really want to explore and you want to give the full story, not just a halfway
right.
story. And the readers can tell if the
Yeah.
author is not invested.
Yes, yes, very true.
For
Yes.
sure. So, what would you say is your writing process, maybe?
I don't have a process.
Okay, that's okay.
When I feel it, I write it.
Hmm.
So I may go some days not writing anything, and some days, but the most constant part of my process is that I like to write early in the morning.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like 5, 6, when it's quiet, nobody else is around, I'm not rushed. So yeah,
You can have your
but
thoughts to yourself.
right. So I may not write for a few days, and then suddenly a few hours will go by, and I've written, a page or two.
It
So
flows.
yeah, so I just let it. I don't stress about my writing.
That's good. That's good. So, are you only focused on writing? Do you have another aspect of your life that you maybe work full time
Yes.
or? Mhm.
So I do editing,
Oh,
reading, book layout, book design, that sort of stuff
oh, wow.
for authors who want to self-publish their work,
Okay.
and they need these services to, get them to a print ready stage.
That is
It's,
wonderful.
it's such a joy to work with, especially with new authors, and this is their baby, and you have to be very delicate with it
Yes.
and with them, because a lot of things, they're not like, someone told me it, it's like, writing is just 50% of it. And then learning all these new things that they have to do to get the book ready.
Right.
It's a whole learning curve for them as well. So you have to be very, patient and listen to the questions, because I was in that position at one time.
Right. Right.
So I understand what they go through, and the millions of questions, and so I build a good rapport with my writers.
That is wonderful. So, what would be your inspiration to continue writing and continue working with authors?
For me, working with authors and seeing the joy in them and hearing the joy in them when they finally get this printed
Yeah.
book and they see their name on it, it's just, because I know how it felt when I did my first book. And, I thought that was it, that I was on top of the world, and you can hear
Right.
it in their voice, when they get their book. So it's a nice experience to be able to be part of that and to bring that kind of joy, or to help them get to that kind of joy. This is their baby. Many of them,
Hmm.
I mean, sometimes they don't go to a second print,
Mm.
but just the satisfaction that they get knowing that I have a book out there. I mean, it's really, it's
Yeah.
it's like, having a child.
Right. Right. You're birthing something. You are.
Yeah,
You're creating something brand new.
right. And this is their work, this is their passion, their thoughts. It's really nice.
Absolutely. And you know what it is also waking up to know that you're doing something that you enjoy is just
Right.
that natural boost of energy in the mornings.
Yes, oh yes.
For sure. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. So, do you have a message for our viewers?
A message. Well, first of all, read my book.
Uh-huh. Of course.
But beyond that, just read and expand your knowledge, you know, just learn things about the world out there. Everything is not black and white. And then reading is also just an escape from the stresses of the world. You know, you just, cozy up with your little book and your cup of hot cocoa since it's so cold by you
Oh,
now.
yes.
And yeah, and just, forget about the world and just, delve into this other world, so just read and enjoy and make it a part of your life. It's,
Absolutely. I feel like inspiration comes through reading the work of others. You
it
may
does.
tap
It
into
does.
something that you may not have been interested in before, but the way it was presented here, you're just like, maybe I can do something with this,
Yeah.
you know?
Like I told my husband, I said, I want to write a Christmas book with snow and hot chocolate. And he's like, we live in Trinidad.
That's okay.
I can
A trendy
imagine.
Christmas is always the best. You know that.
Yes. Yes,
But
it
a little
is.
snow, a little magical snow coming
Yes,
down. Can you imagine when
yeah.
children, if they ever see snow in Trinidad, it will be like, whoa.
Oh my God. They would go crazy.
When it snows here, my daughters will they'll walk around and make 4 or 5 snowmen, dress them all
Okay.
up. Yeah. And every year it's like, haven't you seen snow before? But I'm the first one at the window when it's
Right.
snowing.
Yes. It's just something magical about this
Yes.
white stuff falling from the
Indeed.
air.
Absolutely. So what's
Yeah.
coming for the new year for you? Your second historical fiction?
Well, I'm working on it. I don't know if it will be out. Uh, yeah, it's kind of short to, get everything done. But I'm also working on another children's book. So,
Ooh, very nice. Well, this
yes.
month is National Novel Writing Month up here. I don't know if
Okay.
you all celebrate that. And so you have the whole of November to at least get a draft done.
Okay.
That's our challenge up here. I did it one time a couple years ago, but you really need that focus and structure
Focus. Yes.
to make that happen. But that's what we're working on in November.
Yep. Well, I'll try and get my draft going as well.
I'll be your inspiration, 100% for sure. I really appreciate your time. I love the work that you're doing. I'm going to send
Thank
you
you.
some work from other guests here who have similar interests. Maybe there'll
Right.
be a meeting of the minds.
You never know what might happen.
Jigs, that's right. So don't go far.
Yes.
I know where to find you.
Yes, you do. You do.
Absolutely. And I'll put all of Aartie's links in our description box so you can get in touch with her. You can read her work. You can pick her brain. She's very lovely. We've been chatting for a while. So
Thank
I feel
you.
comfortable to be in your presence.
Yes, just feel free to reach out.
So
I'm
thank
always
you
here.
so much. Happy
Thank you so
holidays.
much. You too.
Stay by.
Stay out of the rain.
Right.
Bye.